Alright, hello everybody. So I've been talking about like my goals with this account, and the main one I want to be doing is PVM. And a little bit ago I did the Underground Pass in order to prepare for doing some Barrows, and I've since then done a bunch of Barrows, and now I kind of want to make a video just about it. So if we want to go ahead and take a look at my gear, it's really weird, and it's like in some ways it's good, in some ways it's horrible. But I have the Helm of Not, I don't know how to pronounce that. I've got an Occult Amulet, a Fire Cape, Broad Bolts, Black D'hide Body and Legs, Blessed D'hide Boots, Black D'hide Van Braces, Iband's Staff, and a Ring of Dueling because I have no ring. So I have a negative magic bonus, but everyone has such low magic requirements that all the people in the Barrows have such a low magic level, you're going to hit them regardless. So then I focus on getting a bit of a range bonus because I do use a crossbow against RM, I think it is. But anyways, for the most part using the Iband Staff, and then I bring a Dragon Scimitar to kill some skeletons to get the appropriate rewards percentage or whatever in the tunnel. This is just kind of what I had on hand. When I first started doing Barrows, I didn't have 70 magic, so I used a Fury instead of an Occult Necklace. Obviously you could use a Glory instead. I just used a Spirit Shield because I already had one for some reason. I don't know why. I don't think you should have one, but they give a pretty good crush bonus, and they have no negative range or mage attack bonuses, so I'm like, whatever. And I don't have a ring, so I just throw on the Ring of Dueling. And my inventory is runes for Iband's Blast, the Spade, Barrows Teleport. I only do one run at a time, and then I bank at Castle Wars, and then one Prayer Potion and a bunch of lobsters. I'd rather use lobsters than Prayer Potions because they currently cost 10k. But if we check the bank, I've done 101 Barrows runs so far, and these are all the uniques I've gotten. I've gotten Torag's hammers, legs, and then the Derek's axe, and then some Karill's stuff. I've gotten 2 Guthan's helmets and 1 RM staff. So honestly, a lot of uniques from just 100 runs. It didn't take that long, but I want to do 100 more. You see, I have the gear here to do 100 more. And then at the end, I'll subtract out the cost of whatever I use and figure out how much money I made in total was. But anyways, this is sort of just the intro for that whole thing. And then from here, I guess I want to take you through how I do a full run, and then I'll just do them all. Maybe I'll throw in if I get some uniques or whatever. So smash a tablet. And then I need to make sure that I have Iband's Blast set up. And then I always start with Derek first. Just because there's a couple I want to pray for no matter what, because without prayer they can destroy you. Derek, of course, being one of them. And then I try to flick my prayers for the magical might or whatever, but you don't really need to. Yeah, don't worry about it too much. And you can see even with Iband's Blast, which is a pretty low level spell, and I have negative magic bonus, you still hit really hard and often, so you don't have to worry about your magic bonus too much. When I very first started doing this, I was using my fighter torso and stuff, because I heard it's best just to bring melee gear, but in the end I find I like to bring ranged gear because I never really use melee, but I do use ranged against RM, so it's nice to have that bonus. So then we go to Karill. I find Karill also if I have to fight him in the tunnel, there's no way to safe spot him, and I always have to use prayer against him. So I like to get him out of the way just to try to conserve using prayer potions. If I can get through a run without using any prayer potions, then that's pretty much a success. So yeah, it really doesn't take too long at all to kill these guys. And then I switch over to the Rune Crossbow and Rapid Fire mode. I'm using Broad Bolts. I have recently got 55 Slayer. I've not actually even used Broad Bolts before, so we'll see how this goes. So then against RM, I just use... Oh, he's in the tunnel, so whatever. It's actually kind of good. I don't really care if I have to use Prayer against RM or not, especially with the Black D'hide. You end up blocking most of his attacks. And also, he just uses 2 different debuffs, I think, so there's a lot of times where he'll attack you and there's not even a chance he can damage you, which means, he's not that dangerous, you know? Herrick, or whatever his name is, there's always a chance he can just hit you for a 27 right out of the gate if you don't have prayer, and that can go anywhere up to like a 54, I think. It's just ridiculous. I found that Carl, it's pretty regular, like 18s to 21s on me, just like consistently. So I always like to make sure to pray against that because it's too much damage. I'm using lobsters to heal up, and like he pretty much kills me faster than I heal myself, so sort of a nightmare. And then Torag and Guthan, they're like whatever. Sometimes Torag has like just gone off on me like a madman out of nowhere. He'll hit like 21, 20, 24. I'm like, calm down, you freak, jeez. But for the most part, you're pretty much good to go. Same thing with Guthan. Guthan. I don't know how to pronounce any of these names, and I never will, and that's fine. I don't care, I just want your gear and your money. So yeah, that's why I only bring the 1 prayer potions, because I'm only doing 1 run per trip or whatever. And against even Varric, I wouldn't pray against him typically, because like he can hit through your prayer and your armor, so it's kind of just like you just hope for the best. He doesn't typically hit that hard or that much, and so it's like I don't really want to mess with it. I can get away without using a prayer potion, and so I will. Again, I'd much rather eat a couple of lobsters. I think all the brothers, though, if you're not praying, can hit you for like 20 at a time. Or like probably 24, I think, is a common max hit. Between 21 and 24. So I try to make sure that I can't get like 2-hit womboed, you know? So I try to stay like... If I'm at 30 health, I would want to eat. So I can't just get like back-to-back 20'd. Or if I'm at like... Yeah, 30 health is a good example, because if they hit a 24, I'm going to freak out and eat, but then there's still a chance they could hit me for like another 24, and then I'd just be dead, which would be stupid. A really dumb way to die. What am I doing? I'm trying to switch to this style of attack. So one thing you can try to do is to force a brother to spawn in the tunnel. I guess it doesn't really matter for me, because I have RM in the tunnel, so there's no way to safe spot him, so it's like, whatever. Once you're in the tunnel, you just want to kill 3 skeletons, and then if you kill the 3 skeletons and then all 6 brothers, your rewards potential will be 88%, which gives you the maximum number of runes and also has like the least likelihood. Oh, hey, look, it's the guy. Let's go ahead and equip this. Switch to rapid, and I don't even pray against this guy because of my black beehide. This can sometimes be a bit shady, but we'll see how things go. Yeah, he's just using debuffs right now. I had been using mithril bolts. They were working fine, and then I just upgraded to broad because I got the slayer level for it, and they're the same as adamant. I normally wouldn't use adamant bolts because they're so dang expensive, but hey, you know, whatever. So he's actually hitting me pretty hard compared to how he normally does. And in a perfect world, you wouldn't even have RM in the tunnel, and you'd be able to use like your last little bit of prayer that you have left over from Kirill and Derek against him. But sometimes it just goes that way. So I do Derek, then Kirill, then RM in that order because those are the 3 that I like to pray against the most. If you get Kirill or Derek in the tunnel, Kirill basically means you're gonna have to use a prayer potion. Derek you can get away with if you like force him to spawn in like this room or the tunnel, then you can safe spot him, so you can like it turns out okay. But yeah, RM spawning in down here is probably the second least desirable outcome. For some weird reason, I get a ton of Torag spawning in the tunnel, which I'm perfectly fine with. Torag's like a massive pushover. His special ability is like he has a chance to lower your agility or something. So who cares? I mean, Guthan can like absorb your health, so then you can like be stuck in the system of you try to kill him and then he heals 24, and then you hit a 15 and then he heals 13. You're like, oh, we're never getting through this. Square. And what's in the box? Okay, a bunch of death runes and some stuff. Let's get out of here to Castle Wars. So yeah, you can see I used a bunch of death runes in that run, but then I got death runes back, and so on average you're gonna gain more death runes than you use. So even though death runes are kind of expensive, so using Iban's Blast can cost decent amount of money. What's wrong? Oh, yeah, I can't take non-combat items. Using Ivan's Blast kind of does cost a lot of money in the long run. Oh, I probably should also... I should probably turn all my gold into platinum tokens just so we can see how much actual gold I get from these 100 runs. It's not going to be substantial, but I guess it matters. It'd be interesting. Anyways, so yeah, that's a run. If you go in one of the portals and then leave in Castle Wars, it restores all your stats except for run, and also doesn't like boost your agility back up. But I don't have a house of any form, so I can't like drink from a fountain. If you have a decent fountain at your house, it's probably better to use home portals. But anyways, that's a typical run for me. I guess I can show you what I would do if like I get Derek in the tunnel or something, but it's not even really necessary. But anyways, I'll be doing this now like 100 times. You can see, yeah, my chest count is 102, so we're gonna end on 201. Anyways, see ya in many, many hours. Okay, hello guys. So I'm just been doing this for a little while now. I don't know how long about, and I got 6 runs in, and I got to Guthan's Chain Skirt. So things going really well. This is kind of typical luck for me, honestly. Like I wasn't like, wow, never saw that coming after 6 runs. I've been getting very fortunate generally. I'm gonna throw this one in. That's our first unique, and you can see I've already gained 200 death runes, using death runes for every single cast. So those are going to add up over time. They're worth quite a bit. And yeah, after 7 runs, I've only used 2 doses of Prayer Potion because I did get a Kareel. Oh, my friends playing games on Steam! And like 3 runs later, we got a Varix Helm. This is not typical, but it's kind of typical for me. So I'm just going to get back on the grind. I'm probably not going to show all the items I've been getting, but I've been doing like really, really casual runs for not that long yet, and it's already paying off excellently. So I like Barrows. We should all do Barrows. So if you get a melee brother to spawn in the tunnel, you can safe spot them by putting like this square that doesn't have any rocks on it in the middle of the room between them and you. Like when you come through, I came through this door and he immediately spawned. I just clicked on this square because then I would run around the box that has no pebbles, and then I didn't take any damage. Woohoo! Regular tunnel! Also, if you get one of the brothers to spawn in like one of these long corridors, there's a chance that if there's like this little formation of rocks right here, you can safe spot them behind it again. That's why the melee brothers are best to get down here, because there's many safe spots. Wow, wow, good game, easy life. Alright, hello guys. So I just finished up the 100th run, and if you take a look at the bank and the tab here, this is what all we ended up with. I really over-prepared in terms of like the items I bought. To like, I had 50 prayer potions, I went through 10, went through like 655 lobsters out of 1,000. And then these are the items that we got. We got 5 items in total. On average, after 100 runs, you should get 6 items. If you get like 1 every 16 or 17 runs is the norm. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised by the amount of gold that we got, like just coins in general. But at this point, I'm going to buy back all of the inputs that we used to get back to like where we were before. We basically just pay for all the costs of doing these 100 runs, and then we'll see how much we made. This honestly, I think I went dry from like 130 kills to like 196 before I got this Guthan's Helm. I was getting really discouraged, honestly. I was like, I got home and I had like 10 more kills to do, and I was like, ugh, let's just knock these out and then never do this again. And then like 2 later I got this, and it was like, that's worth a bunch of money. And I was like, oh! So anyways, I'll sell all this stuff off and we'll see what we end up with. Okay, so in the end of all things, after I bought back all the inputs and everything, I ended up with 4.738k. Actually, so I started with 1,500 death runes, and by the end I had like 3,800 or something. I had 1,800 more than I started with. So even though I was using death runes for every cast of Ivan's Blast, I gained like way more than I used, and more than doubled my death runes. So that's not really a huge issue. I see some people using like blowpipes and like toxic tridents and stuff to do Barrows, which Barrows is fairly low level, so you don't need stuff that intense, and their cost goes way up. I did get unlucky, honestly, with the drops. I only got 5 instead of 6, and compared to my first 100 runs, I got like maybe 2/3 the number of drops, and most of the stuff I got wasn't that great, except for the last Guthan's Helm I got. But honestly, I was surprised by the value of the runes. I had over 1 million gold from both Chaos runes and Blood runes, and then Mind runes I had like over 100k worth because I had like 25,000 Mind runes or something just stupid and disheartening. But anyways, yeah, I bought back everything I used, and I started up with 4.7 mil, which is not bad at all. Barrows is really fun for me. It's so relaxed. It's pretty chill in terms of boss fights. I don't know, it's kind of something I just did all this while watching YouTube and stuff, like hanging out, relaxing, like I was going to be doing anyways in my free time. And, you know, while I was doing it, I made 4.7 mil, and I think I gained like 1.5 magic levels, or maybe 2 full magic levels, and a strength level. But, I mean, honestly, it's pretty decent magic experience. So all in all, I would say Barrows is really, really, really good low-level moneymaker. It's all luck-based, honestly. I think to find, like, what an average gold per run type thing would be, you'd have to do, like, 1,000 runs or something, because it really comes down to just the rare drops you get. Like, I would do runs, and I would get nothing but mind runes and like 200 gold, and my total profit would, or like the total value of my chest would be 4,000 gold, which almost doesn't even pay for the cost of the teleport out there, you know, let alone the cost of the cast for spells and everything, or like a sip of prayer potion. But you know, then other times you get a Guthan's helm and it's worth 1.2 mil. So it really does come down to just, you know, over a long period of time, the frequency of getting a rare drop is going to average out, and you can kind of find out what your normal gold per hour is going to be. But for me, this was lower than the first time I did it, but still nice. Anyways, I guess that's my experience with doing some Barrows runs. I hope that's been informative for people, maybe a little bit entertaining, but who knows. Anyways, thank you so much for checking this out, and I hope you have a good day, and good luck on those Barrows chests, because you're definitely going to need it.